Join us today as I teach you guys how to select flowering and fruiting trees in the springtime. All right, this is a topic that a lot of people don't really talk about is how do you select fruiting and flowering trees in the springtime, especially after like this when they're all popped out. How do you know what to select? All right, so depending on the variety that you guys are looking at, you might want to figure out what type of variety you're looking at. Some people will want something like persimmon or flowering ume or something that's totally different. So figure out what variety you want. So I'm going to teach you guys what I've learned over the years with flowering fruiting trees. I'm going to look at two varieties, so you guys don't have to learn the lesson that I learned the hard way. Okay, so let me flip the camera around and kind of discuss two of the main ones. Umes, which was one of my favorites, and then Prince Persimmon was my second favorite type of flowering and fruiting tree. So let me go through one of each so you guys have an idea what to look for, so you guys don't get had or scammed on buying trees. All right, so our first subject are Princess Persimmons. So Princess Persimmons, they bloom right around March time here in Southern Cal, or around there. So it gives you an idea. March is probably where a full bloom really occurs. Males usually bloom first, then females. Let me zoom up. This is a male tree, and telltale sign, let me zoom in here, is the amount of flowers they have in a cluster. I've noticed that in a male Princess Persimmon, you're going to have at least 3, 4, even 5 these flower clusters in a group. Right? Another telltale sign, let me zoom in a little more, we can zoom in here. Okay. Is these flowers, okay, these flowers here lack a sepal. Oh, I'm sorry to tell you that if you didn't know that Princess Persimmon comes in a male tree and a female tree. I haven't seen them. Lindsay says there are some trees that have both sexes on it, but I've noticed that most Princess Persimmon usually is one sexed. I forgot the scientific name for that. If you remember what's called, oops, please put in the comments. But so this is a male tree. All the flowers are very similar. They don't have that sepal. Sepal is that protective layering. Let me find a female tree so you can see the difference. Here's a female tree. I don't think it has any flowers on it. Let me double check. I don't think this tree has any flower. Oh, there's one. Here's one. Okay. Right here. Okay, let me zoom in. That's a flower. That's a female flower. A female flower will have these petals on the outside, and that's the sepal. That's the protective leaf structure that covers the flowering plant. Okay. So that's a telltale sign. Let me find one that's actually open so you can see the difference. Oh, I see one over here. Let me zoom out. I have one that's open right here. So let me zoom in. That's what a female Princess Persimmon, it has this sepal, and you compare the two. That's a flower that comes with it and has that protective layer on the outside. Another telltale sign, if you're looking during the summertime when the flowers are not out, or early spring, is look for fruits. I actually leave some fruits on just for posterity. So these guys are, another way to tell that's a female is by the fruit itself. And then when they're engorged like this, when they're full, that means they have seeds inside. Sometimes you'll see a really thin Princess Persimmon. You think it's a different variety. It's not. It's just an unfertilized tree or fruit, excuse me. So that's, if you're looking for a Princess Persimmon, that's a telltale sign I'll be looking for, is being looking for the fruits, if you can still, if they have fruit on them, or this flower type, and you can tell there's only one per branch area, and that's usually how they look. And that gives you an idea of that's female. Okay, so that's if you're looking for a female. I got one unusual type here. So here's another Princess Persimmon. I got this at the Hunt sale, 2017, I think. I don't remember, 18 or 17. This tree is actually significant because this is actually came from Harry Harrell's estate when he went through when he passed away. But this tree is kind of unusual. It's flowered male flowers. Okay, you can tell by the male flowers again. There's the male flower right there, you can see. So it does not have a sepal. But this one's kind of unusual. It actually has, you can see right there, it has a little bit of sepal. So I'm not sure if this is a, when I said Princess Persimmon usually has only one sex tree, this may be some of the different variation of a sepal. I'm not sure. What I probably need to do is go and dissect a flower and see if I see a pistil, which is the female structure for a flowering tree, or do I see anthers, which is the male pollen section. So I'm not sure. So that's something for something to look at. Now, so the next tree, of course, is umes. Umes, here's my cascade here. You can see after it's flowered, it's really hard to tell what type of tree it is. So you gotta, the seller has to be really honest if it's a ume, a peach tree, a plum tree, and there's some telltale sign again. So if you're buying after it flowers and it leafed out and you can't tell the structure anymore, my suggestions look for fruits. Okay, so let me zoom in. Okay. Umes are a type of apricot. Okay, you can see the apricot right there. Excuse me. The apricot's right there. So that's a telltale sign. You won't know the color unless someone tells you the color. This is actually a white single petal. Okay, that means it has 5 petals on it. So that's one telltale sign. So if you're buying umes, make sure it flowers or has fruit on it, because if it fruits, you know it flowers. And then I have another tree. I don't know where. Oh, it's in the back corner. Let me walk over there. Here's the one I had on show this winter. It's all its glory. It's just a tree. See, nothing special, just a tree. I'm just letting it extend out, and then I'm gonna cut them back. Probably early spring. So this tree, and it's another ume. You guys can see it. That's not flowering. It's never flowered. And another telltale sign for umes, as we talked about this earlier, is looking at the leaf structure. So there's no fruits, so you can't really tell. The other way to tell is the leaf structure itself. Let me be really quiet. If you feel it, I don't think you can hear it, it is rough. Okay, so if leaf structure is rough, you hear it there. You hear that? It's not waxy. This tree, or this particular tree, won't bloom, okay? Or any of the branches won't bloom. I'm looking for the very flat, shiny leaf. So let me go back over here. This is the leaf structure, and if you look carefully, it is smooth. So it's not juvenile foliage, this is actually mature foliage. And that's another telltale sign for ume. So if you're looking for ume, that's like the #1 sign I've been figuring out, is if it's the leaf structure is nice and smooth, you know it's gonna flower. The color you can't tell. And then don't say like the branches are red. It's just a variation of the trees. Okay, let me flip the camera around really quick. So that's really in a nutshell. Looking for a Princess Persimmon, looking for the flower structure is really key, or even looking for fruit. Umes are the 2 prongs. You're looking for the fruit, And you're looking for the leaf structure. The leaf structure is nice and smooth, you know, will flower. I almost can bet on that at this point. And then that hint actually came from Boone. So thank you, Boone, for that hint. I'm trying to share it with other people, make sure they didn't get had. But yeah, if you guys like the video, selecting trees during the early spring here, like and subscribe. If you have anything, put it in the comments. I'll maybe respond to it. And then thank you for the support, everybody. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.